Real Catholic Man is a podcast whose mission is to inspire others, to learn together, and to encourage and fortify Catholic men to seek a principled life. Strong men are incredibly important in our culture and in the Catholic faith. Now more than ever, we need a strong male presence in our Catholic communities. We need real men who are not afraid to stand up for their beliefs, hold each other accountable, and spread the word that men need each other. Our families, our church needs us to be as strong as we possibly can be. We will attempt to answer those questions and to help each other to find new solutions. Each week we will feature guests who will help us along our journey to becoming the best and strongest men that we can be, so that we can take that strength back into our homes, our families, our parishes, and our communities. Please come join us along this journey as we learn and grow together, and as we renew our commitment to be strong male role models.
Good morning. My name is Ryan Ayala, the marketer, and I'm joined by Mr. Tim Mowery for another episode of Real Catholic Man. Today, we're going to discuss how to maintain peace during the morning madness. Yes, we have all been there. I'm talking about the moment when you wake up to discover that your kids are refusing to get ready for school. The dishes are still dirty from the night before. You ran out of coffee. You forgot to set the alarm. You are feeling groggy. Your spouse is irritable. And yet, how do we maintain peace during the chaos, during the storm? But before we do, of course, let us begin our show, our podcast, like we begin all things, and that's with prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Tim, I'm going to put you on the hot spot a little bit, because when we're talking about ideas, you mentioned morning madness. So what inspired this morning madness idea, Tim?
Well, the fact that this morning was mad at my house, and a lot of mornings, frankly, are. So I think the as men who have children and more than one, three to five or more, I think that we could all learn from each other on how to get through that morning madness with peace and harmony. And also, honestly, it occurred to me, I do my morning routine, and I have my morning prayer that I'm going through, and what do I need to do for my family? It kind of called to my heart, that I need to try to plan a little bit better and to have a calming effect, hopefully. And do I need to huddle my kids and have a prayer in the morning before we go? And just something that was on my heart, just thinking about ways to make it better, ways to be more peaceful, ways to be, joyful, and, to try to leave the house on time and in as harmonious way as possible.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, because I really feel as if like for the Catholic man, he knows that the accuser, the evil one, is going to give us about 1,000 different battles throughout the day that we have to conquer. We have to conquer ourselves. We have to conquer work. We have to conquer kind of family dynamics. We got to conquer all these sort of things throughout the day. But the morning battle, the morning war is, I would say, is probably one of the most important battles of the day, because it's really the time where you get to really anchor yourself in the Lord. Right. And so I don't know about you, but when my morning is filled with chaos and madness and, things are just not vibing, it throws off my entire day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's why, a lot of times you see the Adoration Chapel packed at our parish school. It's like people drop their kids off at school and they're like, I need to go and just sit with the Lord for 10 minutes and reset. It's true. It's really, really true. And you think about the peace that you have in the morning before everybody gets up. I've luckily gotten more into the habit of getting up earlier and getting my morning prayer routine going. But that still doesn't change the fact that if you can't get your kid out of bed, you got to go in 3 or 4 times, and you're waking up a high school student that's playing sports and, had to finish their French homework or whatever. It's hard. it's
Yeah.
really, really difficult. It's a challenge. And so, yeah, I think I thought of it as a learning and sort of something I need to be better at, because I want to start my day off right. And a lot of times it starts with that initial alarm clock. Do you
Yes.
snooze, or you've heard of the heroic minute, have you heard of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's just for me, it's such a challenge to not hit snooze. But like if
Right.
you know that you set your alarm to get up at whatever time it is at 4:58, you better get out of bed.
Yeah.
Start your
Yeah.
day. Just start.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been moved by what the Canticle of David or the Psalms have to say about morning time in particular. I want to read very quickly from Psalm 90, verse 5 through 6, because I've always it's a very moving sort of image of kind of what the morning provides the man, what the morning provides all of us. But this is from Psalm 90, verse 5. David says, "You sweep men away, they're like a dream, like grass which is renewed in the morning. In the morning it flourishes and is renewed. In the evening it fades and withers." Again, you sweep men away, they're like a dream, like grass which is renewed in the morning. In the morning it flourishes and is renewed. In the evening it fades and withers. So I love this image that David's drawing on. It's this idea that there's something about the morning that allows man to kind of renew, to begin again. And it reminds me of that great phrase that Philip Rivers, that
Yeah.
phrase that he wears underneath his
New
football
Jeff.
equipment. Nunc
Yeah.
Chepi, yeah. Now I begin. So I love that idea of waking up in the morning and really kind of being intentional about using that time to begin again, to reconsecrate yourself to God. Now, Tim, you mentioned, teenagers. Now I'm at the point in my life where I have little ones, so they're the ones waking me up early.
Yeah.
I haven't begun the whole
Yeah.
wake the teenagers up, but I can hear a teenage boy, or maybe if a college student, maybe someone tuning in is a college student, or even another person saying, "Well, why should I get up early? What's the point of getting up early?" What would you say to that?
Well, I mean, even if you think about that psalm that you just read, and David talking about the grass and being renewed, and the time that you have in the morning before your cell phone, before you start work emails, before you start, if it's social media, there's so many distractions in this world. And I, as a father, I think about what my example is, and certain situations that you go through in life. A lot of times, if you just react, you don't come at it with the best response. But if you take time to sit with it, to pray about it, to reflect on whatever the challenge is, or whatever the struggle is, or whatever, it could be a finance decision. It could be a personal family situation. It could be how to be a better parent to a child that you may struggle to parent because they drive you absolutely batty, or they're just enough like you that you may they're like you, but they have the opposite reaction to everything, or they want to get the
Yeah,
last word in, and you're like, oh my goodness.
yeah, yeah,
Just do what I tell you to do because I
yeah.
said so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think fathers also have an opportunity to really teach our children. Waking up early builds discipline. Like, it's hard work, and there's a reason why it's hard. And one of my favorite saints is Saint Josemaria Escrivá, and he wrote this great sort of. He has 3 books in one, but it's called the Way, the Furrow, the Forge, and
And
there's a
he's the one
quote
that
there.
came up with the heroic minute, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I was just going to read. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is a little quote from Saint Josemaria Escrivá on the heroic minute. He talks about the heroic minute. It's time to get up on the doubt without hesitation, a supernatural thought, and up the heroic minute. Here you have a mortification that strengthens your will and does not weaken your body. So Saint Josemaria Escrivá is recognizing that, it's hard work. It's a sacrifice. It's an offering to wake up early in the morning,
Yeah.
and to be disciplined. But I think men are invigorated by that. I think men love discipline. And so, so I would respond to that. Someone asked me, why should I get up early? It builds discipline. It's hard
Right.
work.
Right. Well, our farmers get up early, right? I mean, the people that take care of the land, they get up early, right?
Yeah.
And for centuries, right, we were agrarian, right? Communities where people worked on the land, and they have to get up and start their day at sunup. And that's when the animals waking up. The rooster calls, there's all those ideas. One of my in our family, there's a saying: if you want to stay out with the owls, you can't soar with the eagles. So you can't get up and soar with the
Nice.
eagles in the morning if you stay out with the owls. So
Nice. I like that.
but there's also to that, a lot of times we take for granted proper rest, right? And so in order to get up early, if you're undisciplined about when you go to bed, and that trust me, I've done it many times, but not being disciplined the night before about when you go to bed, and disciplined about your activities, that what you have going on the next day. Part of what I was thinking about on this particular topic was I really need to train my children better to prepare what the next day is going to look like, just like we would for work. Or if I know I'm going to go on a business trip, I have to pack. I need this shirt. I need that shirt. I need these socks, these shoes, a cap, whatever. You plan it out, right? You have an idea. Well, if your children have a game after school, and they have a uniform to wear, and they, need their basketball shoes or whatever they need. If we are better at training them to mentally prepare for what's going to happen the next day, then some of the madness in the morning would be hopefully lessened. Because there's enough madness anyway.
So what do you like? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, so for example, if they have to get ready for the next day for school, like, do you kind of encourage them to get their clothes ready beforehand, or maybe
the
your
ideal
wife does? Like, is that what you're talking about?
That's
Like
the
the night
ideal.
before, kind
Yeah,
of lay out your
that's the
clothes,
ideal.
kind of pack your backpack, that kind of stuff? Or
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts with, the homework on the table or whatever. You pack your backpack up. If it's all out on the table and it's not packed up, it makes it much more complicated. Then they're trying to find, where's my this book, or where's that? I didn't charge my Chromebook that I need, or whatever it might be. But I'm not saying we're great at it. I'm just saying that's the ideal, and that's what I strive for. So I'm not an expert. I'm just saying that's the ideal. But it occurred to me just during the madness of some mornings, and I think there's a time that your kids, you should be up, that you have a plan, a drop dead time that they need to be up, and there's a drop dead time that you need to be out the door in order to get, even if you have traffic of getting across the city, that you can eliminate some of that stress, because everybody's trying to get somewhere in the morning in a hurry, right? So the rush hour, it's something that's a challenge.
If I'm listening to this and I'm inspired, like, okay, this is, Lent is around the corner, maybe a few weeks away, and maybe a Lenten practice could be, waking up in the morning without hitting the snooze button or something like that. I want to talk a little bit about that in just a few moments, but what does a morning routine look like? What do you suggest? What does your morning routine look like? Maybe where they can practically begin and take some steps to waking up in the morning.
Yeah, as far as like prayer, I mean, I think it's having a consistent time to get up. And so I've been trying, in the last year, of getting up by 5. And if I'm up by 5, then between 5 and 6:30, I have the time I need to do my morning prayer and reflection, and some reading, and then also some exercise. That's the ideal. Setting. And then by 6:20, 6:30, it's like start the process of waking people up, and kind of helping assist with packing lunches and making water bottles, and however I can help out, getting the clothing needed for the youngest, and kind of pushing the older ones around that need to be directed in the right way. So it's a team effort between my wife and I. It really is. And I think we all experience that. And then trying to leave on time, we have to leave by a certain time in order to get to school and to eliminate the traffic. So that'd be like an ideal day, and
Sure.
not an expert. But
yeah, so if you're listening and that's great. It seems like you've kind of gotten, you guys have gotten over the hump where children are not waking up super early. In fact, they're sleeping in now, right? But if you're listening in and you're a young father, a young parent, and you're kind of in my position where our kids are young, they're toddlers, they're waking up multiple times throughout the day, having potty accidents, they're hungry, they have a bad dream. So you're constantly being woken up throughout the night. Just something that I'm kind of learning, and it's been an adjustment for me, but is to really kind of give myself a little bit more grace, because I think there's a temptation to be over scrupulous about this topic. But I think I've been learning how to give myself more grace. And so, yeah, maybe I'm not able to commit to a full hour to myself where I can, have time to work out and, read 15 minutes of the gospel and 15 minutes, maybe a spiritual reading and knock out all my prayers. But I definitely can squeeze in maybe 3 to 5 minutes where I really try to consecrate my day to God and give him thanks for allowing me to wake up, and kind of resting in that, kind of trusting that even the Lord recognizes your sacrifices and recognizes that action. So now, what sort of practical tips that could we also kind of give? I love some of the wisdom of the saints when they talk about waking up early. Going back to Saint Jose Maria Escriva, he's kind of the father of this whole kind of the whole heroic minute. What does he mean by that? He means that the heroic minute is the person who refuses to hit the snooze button, because part of it is this idea that by not hitting the snooze button, you are able to conquer what the devil's trying to do, and that is like keep you from waking up and keep you from being able to attend to your vocation and keep you from being able to proclaim the good news to the world. And so that's part of it, is like, don't hit the snooze button, wake up so you can conquer the day. So that's part of this is part of the whole heroic minute. And specifically, one of the things that he used to teach his students was to say, servium, I will serve, when you wake up. So as soon as you wake up, you say, I will serve. Those are your first words, servium, because the evil one says non-servium, I will not serve. And so that's one practical tip.
Where do you land, Ryan, on making your bed? Because the reason why I asked this question is, when I was younger, I was like, why am I making my bed? Like when I was a youth, I was like, why do I make my bed if I'm just going to jump back in it? And I do definitely have children that feel that way. But now I've kind of come more to the school of thought of, making our bed every day is a good habit. It's a good discipline. Number one. Number two, you've already achieved something. Like you're like, hey, I started my day and I made my bed. Like, boom, let's go. It's kind of so anyway, that was the reason why I was thinking of that question for you. Where do you land?
We have not conquered that at all. We have not conquered that at all. I'll be very honest. We do not. It's a strange thing, because my wife and I are pretty type A people, but when it comes to making our bed, we have not conquered it. And we see the value in it. It's probably our own.
The Linton challenge to you. The Linton challenge. Make your bed.
Seriously. Okay, what about this is like a little more practical, like drinking a glass of water when you wake up? Does that help? Do you drink a glass of water? Do you make it a point to drink a glass of water to get some fluid going there?
I should. I'm much, and I don't know how I know when I started it, when we had our first child, I was usually the early bird. And so I just kind of would fight through it, and I went straight to coffee. I was like, I just need coffee. Like I just go straight. There's water in coffee. I'm like, give me the good stuff. Like I need something, So I think that's
awesome.
When you talk about like being a young parent, though, that's challenging when you don't have, like, your sleep is broken up. You have children that are waking you up multiple times a night, or you don't know, right? If you have a young child, you don't know what might be bothering them, or they can't tell you in their words, that you just are like, they feel warm. Are they warm to you? Like,
Yeah.
we play WebMD and try to figure out like what's going on. And so Yeah, that I think it's a real challenge to have the habit, the discipline of getting up is much more difficult early on with young children when the sleeping patterns are erratic, for sure.
So you reminded me of just the whole idea of like kind of like skipping the water and going straight to the coffee. I love
Yeah.
that. Fulton Sheen has this great quote in his book called The Priest Is Not His Own. And he says that the average American is physically, biologically, psychologically, and neurologically unable to do anything worthwhile before he has a cup of coffee. And that goes for a prayer too. Let them have coffee before meditation. That's what
Yes.
that was his recommendation for the
I knew I liked
so,
Fulton Sheen. I knew I liked him. I'm team.
Okay, you and Phil is also a partner with us. You guys work out. I mean, you guys like work out weekly. You guys
Yeah.
like do a workout routine
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Talk to me about
5:30.
that.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
we have,
gosh.
yeah, we're part of a group. It's a national group called F3. And so it's a group of Christian men. So it's fitness, fellowship, and faith. And they it's peer-led workouts, and we meet in a local park at 5:30 in the morning. And so they're all over the US. And yeah, there's one we go to, and it's up to you, it's up to your schedule, what's close to you. And so by 6:15 you're done with the workout, and I'm home by 6:30 so I can wake everybody up. So
That's
I
awesome.
I try to do it a couple times a week, depending on my schedule, but usually it's 2 to 3 times a week is what I'm trying to do in that. So yeah, if I don't do it first thing in the morning, then it's just a struggle. And
Sure.
I coming from like growing up, playing high school sports, and then playing a sport in college, I was so used to working out. Like it's just something you did every day. And then when you have children and things are chaotic with your sleep, and it's just hard. So it's tough. It's a commitment. There's some nights that when I go to bed, I'm like, I don't want to get up tomorrow. But then but then you're accountable to other people. When you're accountable to other people, you do it. You're like, oh, I promised so and so I'd be there. And so it's a good thing. It's been an excellent reawakening of kind of what is important, things that I needed to do. So I know that if I've gone to F3 and I've worked out, I've hung out with a couple good guys, and I've prayed before 6:30 in the morning. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
incredible.
And on those days, it's harder for me to do my, prayer and reflection, holy hour. So I have to kind of rearrange my schedule a little bit to do that. But it's definitely been an awesome experience.
That's great. Yeah, I one of the things I'd like to do in the morning is go for runs. But again, lately it's been kind of a challenge with the younger ones. They're waking up early, and I like to let my wife sleep in so that she doesn't have to, because she's at home with the kids all day. And so luckily my 5-year-old,
Good man. You're a good man.
Yeah, my 5-year-old, he's at the age where he can run longer. So one of the things that we've been doing recently, which has been really great, we've been going on runs together. Now he's only able to run like off and on, but about a mile long, but still like that's just enough to kind of get the blood going for me. But for him, it's like an excellent morning workout for him.
Yeah.
So we're going on about a mile run every like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and it's been really great. And again, it's not a full workout for me, but it's great. I get to do it alongside my son. So that's been
I've got
really
a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
So it's called, I've heard it called a jike. So your son can ride his bike and you jog. And so that way you can go longer distance for your jog, and then he can ride 2 or 3 miles easy. Right.
Yeah,
so
right.
As he becomes more comfortable riding his bike, you jog, and trust me, he'll get going faster than you want to jog. So, it might turn into sprints at some point, but
that's awesome.
That's an awesome way, to do that. So it's called a jike.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. There you go.
That's awesome. Well, great. Well, I hope this podcast today was able to sort of provoke, maybe inspire you to consider waking up early and kind of anchoring your day in the morning, offering your first fruits to God. I know that it has benefited me for the past 12 years when I made a commitment to wake up in the morning and really consecrate myself to God. And so any last sort of tips or tricks from you, Tim?
No, just keep praying for us in the morning madness, and we'll keep praying for you. We all experience this. So, there's no experts here. Just I thought it was an excellent topic for us to discuss. So have a great day.
Well, great. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the show where Tim and Ryan talk about all things Catholic, especially as it pertains to building a culture of authentic men. If you liked the podcast or got something out of the episode, please share it with your friends and family. Subscribe, like, comment, rate, and review if you haven't. Finally, as a gesture of our appreciation, we would like to offer you an exclusive discount code for listening to our podcast. Please visit www.discountcatholicstore.com and type podcast at checkout, where you will receive 17% off your entire cart. Why 17%? I don't know. But thank you for listening, and God bless.
Ciao.
Today's podcast episode of Real Catholic Man is brought to you by DiscountCatholicStore.com. Discount Catholic Store is building the world's largest e-commerce platform for Catholic and other religious items. With new products online every day, this is an incredibly dynamic group. Discount Catholic Store is more than just a website and a store. It is a community of spirited and committed Catholics who want to help get souls to heaven. Discount Catholic Store donates all profits to Catholic causes, and they want desperately to help you find anything that you are looking for. Please visit DiscountCatholicStore.com and join this community. Join their email list, follow them on social media, and participate in this growing movement. Get in on the action as Discount Catholic Store. It is truly a religious experience. Discount Catholic Store is a small business owned and operated by genuine and authentic followers of the Catholic faith who are seeking only to help you reconnect to the Catholic faith and stay connected and engaged. Please visit DiscountCatholicStore.com today and receive some free promotional information.
Hey, congratulations! You listened all the way to the end. Now, do us a favor, please like and subscribe to our podcast, and you'll get alerted when we make new episodes, and you can keep the fun going. All right, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Thanks again.